I'll throw this up as Pastor Steve's gets into it. Okay, this is a good one. How long should I let my kids stay at home? Question mark. Everything is so expensive, but I also don't want to be in the way of them becoming an adult and becoming responsible.
I think when you get in the way of them becoming an adult and becoming responsible, that it's been too long. So that's one of those. When my kids got older, I wanted them to stay with, I would still have my kids staying with me. And so I like my kids. And my daughter lives right next door to me, and it's just a blessing because she's there with her husband and my grandkids, and I like that. When you're talking about biblical society, and we don't have the same kind of society that you have in the Bible, but people lived on farms, and they would build houses on their farms, and they would all live in the same area. It was land that was connected to the family, and it would stay like that for generations. They didn't necessarily have them in their house, though. And so when a young man would get married, he would build a home for he and his bride, and that's where they would live. And so, if you're going to go by a biblical standard, that's at least one that you can kind of pin down as far as the culture went. But again, when I'm looking at my kids, as soon as it became an issue of I was getting in the way of their adulthood or their responsibilities or their accountability, that's when things would change. And so sometimes that means you're kicking your kid out because they're not acting in a godly manner in your home. And so that's one of those things that God can use. Now you're going to have to go out and buy your own food and get your own bed and get your own room and that kind of thing. And it's time to grow up, Bucky. That kind of thing. And but then on the other hand, if my kid's doing the things that I would like him to do, I still don't want my boy in my basement, playing video games and going to work. He needs to. If I saw that going on with my son, I'd be like, you need to be out. I didn't have those problems specifically with my son in that kind of issue. As soon as he was out of high school, he was off to college and getting ready for his career and that kind of thing. So didn't even take any time off. So, but if I felt that I was getting in the way of my kids growing up, if I'm looking at them and I'm like, okay, this is not good, that they need to be out of the house. So.